organization.
Robert, would you recommend managed print services from James Imaging Systems?
Yes, in a heartbeat, I would recommend James.
Learn more at jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Alongside ESPN's John Anderson, here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
The best 60 minutes of your day, the John Anderson Homer Hour. You get less Huey Lewis before I join on Tuesdays because I want John Anderson to talk sooner. And so now, good afternoon, 7-2.5, John Anderson.
Man, you should never cheat Huey Lewis.
I do, for you, you do. He's on every week.
Don't, especially not the power of love. The number of times that we had pirated cable in college and watched Back to the Future with that song, I can still see myself in the rundown apartment, the house that I lived here in Columbia. I got a better place to live this time than I ever did in college. Watching that thing just over and over again.
Yes. Fabulous movie, fabulous song. Yeah, I would agree that, but there was no John Anderson Homer Hour at the time to choose between that. All right, where do you want to start? Let's go. I always hear you on KBN. Let me help you out because I'm old. The 82 Brewers were expected to be great. This was not about, they were one of the elite teams. The Yankees were special, but let's go, Brewers. Come on, you're good. Let's do something special. They were one of the top teams entering that season in Major League Baseball. This team is, do we have the John Anderson quote, which will, this is just, if this doesn't go national, I'm just going to be upset. Hold on. Excuse me, you cannot talk, sir, until John Anderson speaks. He's looking for it. Okay, you can speak. We'll get to John Anderson's slogan. Should be a T-shirt by now.
The Brewers surprised back when it was Bamberger's first years when they came out of nowhere, they were surprised. And then they had the split season. And then by the time 82
they got into playoffs in the split season, people forget about that because they lost the split season playoff.
Yeah, but you're right. So by the 82 team, you're like, okay, those guys they were killers. They were supposed to go through we were stunned when they got down 0-2 to the Angels in that.
Well, and they fired the manager. People should know this. They fired the manager because they were struggling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to your memory and you bringing up terrible Packer players. You're just.
What do you mean? But that's what I had to grow up on.
I understand. That's great when you tell the story.
And then by the time, think about it.
But if I had been your friend, I would have said, what is wrong with you? These guys are no good. How can you? I know you're 12, however old you are. Come on. You're going to do something famous one day. You might high jump over 7 feet. You can't show such support and love for guys that aren't any good.
Sure you can. And
you can? All right, who's the worst player that you really liked? Hold on, excuse me. We have John Anderson to speak about the 2025 Milwaukee Brewer Bees.
You get enough bee stings you can bring down a bear?
What? Say it again, Mr. Anderson.
You get enough bee stings you can bring down a bear?
One more time.
You get enough bee stings you can bring down a bear?
I just want to let you know, as great as your career is, I believe in Wikipedia, this could go down as your greatest expression ever. Say it. Do it again, Pebble.
You get enough bee stings you can bring down a bear?
I might. What was the movie where the guy, the DJ, would not stop playing the song? It was they died in the plane crash. What was the Freddie Vallon story or what? What is it? The guy locks the door and he keeps playing the song and he won't stop playing the song. I might just have to play this for an entire hour. Go ahead, Pebble. One more.
You get enough bee stings you can bring down a bear?
All right, back to you, John Anderson. The same John Anderson.
Where are
Won't
we?
be
I
as
don't
good
even
as
know
that
what we're
famous
talking about.
slogan, but it's still pretty good.
I don't know. What were you even talking about?
We're talking about the movie about the rock and
probably
roll.
no. The guy that was probably that wasn't any good that we all got behind. Like, remember it was huge when they drafted him in the first round and he came back because he was from Green Bay West High School and played at Nebraska Game of the Century. Jerry Tagg,
Yeah.
not a good player. What did he start? Like 4 games. Was not a good pro. Scott Hunter, bless his heart, 72, but was not a good player. Really good sports broadcaster after that, by the way. Went down to Alabama, had a great career in TV. But now when the Packers get good, I'm in the media and I'm covering games, and there's no rooting in the press box. So,
but you can still have private rooting, not when you're not in the press box, right? I mean, you can't go public with it, but it's still in your heart. You're still holding on to those sucko players. Come on. Anthony Dilwood should be greater in your heart than Jerry Taggy.
Anthony Dilwood, you was another guy who did nothing. Come on.
I know. I did.
Blair
But
Tweeden,
you laugh at Anthony Dilwig, but you support Jerry Taggy. Come on. Hold on. Stop for a second. Pebble, play it again.
Oh, jeez. See? That's
on.
it. It's already worn out its welcome. Already worn out.
Quiet, sir.
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
Yeah. Who do we have to get? Who do I have to get to turn that into a T-shirt, a hat? The 2025 Milwaukee Brewer Bees.
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
And you know what? That bear's hurting. We got a little cushion now, John Anderson. 3-game division lead. All right, back to you. It's
some.
It's early, but it's still a cushion. Cushions are nice.
It is. Listen, this is how much I'm kind of terrified it might end, and yet I'm watching it constantly. Like Fangraphs has them to be 98.7% to make the playoffs. I think that's probably solid.
Yes.
A little less to win the division, but they don't like their chance, and they even like their chances to win the pennant. They don't like their chances to win the World Series. They're like second best odds to win the pennant and like 8th or 9th to win the World Series. But Baseball Reference and their formula, they like the Brewers to be the favorite to do everything. They've got them as favorite not only to win,
right? Because they're going just by numbers. They're now the leader in run differential, which speaks to how good they are.
And think about that. And think what that run differential be if they hadn't gotten beat. What was it, like 39 or 40 to
correct
5 those first 4 games?
I agree with you. This will go down as they'll be the first team to ever do that and win in whatever they win. No one, but you do have to admit the run differential against the Nationals was what 120 to 2. I mean, they've had incredible runs that they get credit for. I will ask John Anderson. They're like 2 John Andersons. One that's going to be historically famous for this line that, man, the Brewers have to win it so that we can play this a million times. Now I lost what I was going to ask you about before.
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
And let's give credit to who you stole that from.
Chichi Rodriguez.
But back to the Brewers. That the people that know baseball look at the players, and there are no stats for this, and go, this can't continue. They had guys that nobody had heard of who got hurt and replaced them with other guys nobody had heard of, and they're doing well. This 28-year-old outfielder they picked up in the trade on the deadline, he's less than nothing. And now he comes and plays for the Brewers, and he does something.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they only get 3 hits last night, but one of them was from Isaac Collins. Who's hit 215, and he hits a 3-run bomb.
You can think of a lot of Collins. He ain't on the list. Right?
He's not the first one.
No, he's like 10th. 9 Collins. All right, let's go. 9 Collins ahead of it's Isaac, right? I think, right?
Isaac.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to start? You go first with your Collins.
In all of
Collins?
baseball or what?
Anything.
How about my dad, Walter Collins? Right, he's the best Collins I know. My son's named Colin after Collinses. That's how many Collinses I know.
Phil Collins. We got any other Collins? Judy Collins. Judy, or do I have the wrong last name? What? She was a singer or folk
Terry
singer?
Collins is a great player, right? Terry Collins is a really good baseball player.
I'm wrong. There aren't 10. So,
Joan Collins?
Joan Collins. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. No, there aren't 10. Never mind. Let's move on. There's a standard now that he set by talking about the Brewers. Can we hear it again, Pebble? Better have
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
I would think I would get tired of it. It gets better.
Good.
Okay, I just want to let you know, it will end 7-2.5, and this is your show. So at any point, you can say, Homer, enough of the bees for tonight.
Well, you just can't live in the past. You got to go into the next one. You got to, what's tomorrow? You got to, Grantland Rice, after he wrote outlined against, what is it, a blue-gray October sky, he wrote other stuff.
But this saying goes for the whole season. We are not yet finished. The number one reason, if they ask me why I want the Brewers to win it all, is so that this comment earns the historic justice it deserves.
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
All right, one last question, then we'll get back to the Brewers and stuff.
Sure.
Which do you think I have obsessed on too much more? 7-2.5 or bee stings? And then I'll give you my vote. Which do you think I have obsessed on the most? Pebble, what would you say? Which of the two of them I obsessed?
Definitely 7-2.5 to this point because we've had that longer than the bee stings.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing about the 7-2.5. Like the bee stings, you have not gone, how could you ever have come up with that? You're such a dope. Wow, I can't believe you stumbled into that. But 7-2.5, you go, I look at that guy, and I don't think he could jump over a curb.
No, now hold on. That's not fair.
It doesn't come
I
with
know
the
you could jump over a curb. I know you're a very good athlete. 7-2.5 is off the charts. You don't think it is. And that's your problem because you're incapable of appreciating your own greatness.
You should be able to appreciate. You played tennis. You've seen guys, right?
Never close to 7-2.5.
What I'm saying is you've seen what really good is.
Correct.
And you were a good player, and then you've seen what really good is and go, okay, maybe I'm not that. And that's all I'm saying is what I did was great. It was a great jump that day. I had a super day. It was awesome. And even as a career, I did okay. But I saw what really good was.
I got it.
And great was. And I wasn't in that realm. Right?
Yeah. No, you set yourself up to a much higher standard than I did for me. I had only one wish. So I had only one wish. I wanted to play Big Ten tennis. Now, unlike you, what did I decide? I want to play Big Ten tennis. What do I have to do? Find the worst team in the Big Ten. That's what I did. What's the point? Because I have a better chance of making it. Purdue was horrible, but they told me the girls were all very ugly there, which wasn't true. But I didn't pick there. The second worst team was Wisconsin. That's why I went. You didn't pick Missouri because it was the worst track team in the conference. No. Right?
No, I picked because they have the best journalism school in the conference.
But because that's what you wanted to do more than, I don't know how good. What was your athletic goal in life? What did you achieve? What you wanted? What was?
Oh yeah, it was. I didn't really have I just went down and asked if they'd let me walk on. That was it. I just wanted to run. That was kind of fun.
But you were good enough. You were good enough for them to recognize you, right?
Well, they let me stick around.
When I walked on at Arizona, when I decided I wanted to transfer back, coach at Wisconsin calls the coach at Arizona. You got to give permission. Coach said, I didn't know he was on the team. You didn't have that, huh? I have the letter. You don't have to do anything with me. I didn't think he was on the team. He could go wherever the hell he wants. I don't care.
No,
anyway.
No. In fact, I don't know if you knew that. By my senior year, I was captain of the team. I was the captain.
Yes. Is that more impressive to you than 7-2.5?
It is. Okay. You know what? I do. I have a captain. I have my captain's ring that they gave me, and that's. And, I did tell
okay, let me just give you a hunch. Let me just give you a hunch. They ain't picking me as the captain at Arizona. All right? The fact that you were the captain means that your quality of work was good enough. Yeah. No walk-ons being a named captain at Wisconsin. You have to be at a certain level to achieve captain, correct? In terms of your performance.
Well, even that I think comes with a caveat. I always tell people we had 7 or 8 guys from Nigeria, and I had a valid U.S. driver's license, so that may have had more to do with it than anything.
All right, fine. How many guys? Hold on. Now that we've gotten into this, and I don't really, if you're listening and you want to talk about the Packers, I don't care. I'm doing this for me. All right. So, yes, there were some people from Nigeria. How many people on the track team were not from Nigeria that they could have selected as captain? I'm going with 50.
I don't know. We probably had 35.
All right. Okay.
38 guys. Okay.
All right. We have Jason Wilde. This is, and again, if I get suspended for a day, I don't care because this is so much fun to just discuss what you were better than you thought you were. Were you actually a golfer at one time? Did you compete? Somebody said you competed in some golf tournament. I said, I don't think so. You just wrote the Chichi Rodriguez book randomly out of.
No, it was kind of a roundabout story, but I got hooked up with his agent. And
because that's a weird person to write a book about, to tell you the truth.
Real quick, so here's what happened. He wanted to write a book, and his agent, I knew a kid that was one of his representatives who was from Oklahoma, and I knew him from then. And he called me and he said, "Man, I don't know where to start." And so he threw like $500 at me to give me an outline of what you think would be how it would work. So I took $500 and I wrote an outline and I sent it to the guy. And they took it to the publisher, and the publisher said, "This is great. If the guy who wrote the outline will write the book." Bang. That's how I ended up writing the book.
I will say this. I think Chichi Rodriguez was probably an amazing guy to do a book about. Am I right?
Yeah, it was about gambling, right? It was about how to gamble on golf. But yeah, he had
incredible skills, and he came from Puerto Rico, right?
Yep.
And that was when guys were not making a lot of money and had to play all the time. And I don't know where they probably he talk about gambling when they would play before the tournament started and who was the best player there. I don't know if it seemed to me those people were always looking for suckers to gamble against that they could crush.
All those guys hustled, especially during the winter when the tour is off.
So they go to some clubs and try to find a bunch of rich, stupid people that would gamble with them. All right.
Yep.
Jason Wilde, back to the regular John Anderson Sports Talk Show. I'll open the cot up so I can rest. Jason Wilde and John Anderson next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, we got a couple of incidents out on the road. If you are on I-41 US 45 south at Appleton Drive, be aware the right lane is closed due to a disabled vehicle. And then there is a crash in the ramp from Good Hope Road west to I-41 US 45 south as well. Traffic is sponsored by Bud's Pavilion Live Music at the Wisconsin State Fair. 33 local cover bands over 11 days. Tonight it is Hot Rod Huey and the B-side starting at 6:30 inside the Bud Pavilion. Tonight's going to be mainly clear, lingering smoke around with the low of 66 degrees. Wednesday, that smoke haze will still be in the air. It will be mostly sunny, warm, and humid with a high of 82 degrees. This report is brought to you by Dick & Strauff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickandstrauff.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Sean Brinda on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 59. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office, and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today, so I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, this is good. And it's introduced by John Anderson because he will always ask how Jason is doing. Take it away, Professor.
Well, as you know, Homer, I love when Jason Wilde comes on because of all the people that are teammates of ours here at Good Karma. There's nobody I enjoy working with more than the two of you. So when Jason's here, I feel like, we've got the full lineup, right, Jason?
I'm no Butchergrass. I don't know if people got to see you on Family Night. If they didn't tune in, they missed you. But I did I really enjoyed your appearance, and I did text John Sharapova to let him know that it would have been nice if he would have shouted us out instead of them. But it's good. Hey, I'll I understand you got a lot of great people that you've worked with over the years, and most of them aren't weird about my appearances the way Homer is.
So I didn't get to see all of it because it was not televised here in mid-Missouri. But was there some sort of jersey retirement ceremony for Omar Brown's number 40? Apparently Xavier McKinney, everybody was wowed by our Nebraska safety, and apparently now he's the greatest 40 since Eddie Lee Ivory.
Yeah, he's the new Kevin Casevaharn. I really enjoyed being able to show off my incredible knowledge of Family Night and all the storms and everything else. For the uninitiated, Kevin Casevaharn was a corner, a white corner, which I remember talking with Charles Woodson about that years later about guys that obviously Jason Sehorn is the most well known, but Kevin Casevaharn was really remarkable. He intercepted Brett Favre on Family Night, and all of a sudden everyone was like, "Well, this guy's a story," and he absolutely was. He spent time in the Arena League. He spent time in the XFL, but he did not make the Packers roster coming out of camp, despite his magical moment on Family Night. But it still launched his career. He was, from little Augustana College in South Dakota, And he ended up playing 9 NFL seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals, the New Orleans Saints, the Carolina Panthers, and the Tennessee Titans, which is not bad for a guy who played for the Iowa Barnstormers and the San Francisco Demons. It was a magical night for this guy, and that's what we saw from Omar Brown. Not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions. I mean, crazy, right? And he's playing a position where you would have, they don't have a whole lot of space. And so he's basically creating space out of nowhere because, they've got Javon Bullard, they've got Evan Williams, they've got Katan Oladapo, and oh, by the way, they've got the best safety in the league, first-team All-Pro in Xavier McKinney. Now, maybe there's a fifth safety. Last year, the fifth safety was Zane Anderson, who is a critical special teams guy. But Omar Brown, and this was McKinney's message to him on the sideline after the third interception. Hey, this is great. Enjoy the moment. But you got a hell of a lot of work to do still to make this team. Like, this is one great night. And he was a little bit of a party pooper, but it's the truth. Because if he doesn't parlay this into, really good film from the Jets game on Saturday and good film again when they play Indianapolis the following Saturday, then it's just going to be a neat little historical footnote from family night.
Who else, I guess, can we say distinguish themselves or, went, oh, okay, well, that will be worth another look at during practice or during the Jets game?
I will say this. I thought Lucas Van Ness looked pretty darn good. Now, again, the problem with a scrimmage is, did Lucas Van Ness look good or did Jordan Morgan look bad? Jordan Morgan looked better than him in one-on-one pass protection / pass rush drills. But at the same time, that's one-on-one stuff. It's not actual football. Lucas Van Ness also could not sack the quarterback, so maybe Jordan Love would have eluded him. All those things come with this kind of a scenario. But for a guy that, obviously there have been a lot of expectations, none of which he's actually lived up to after 2 seasons in the league, I thought he had a really good night. I thought Romeo Doubs, and he extended it again today with a 55-yard touchdown from Love. I thought Romeo Doubs had a good family night. He's just, he catches the ball so well. He's like out there like Cliff Branch with Stickum. Or who were the Stickum guys back in the day? Was Cliff Branch a Stickum guy?
Oh, Blitnikoff, his partner was.
Okay.
Freddie.
And so those guys, he looks like he had a great moment. I think it was after you had made your appearance. They were doing the punt thing where you catch as many balls as you can while you're holding on to the ones you previously caught. And he had caught 6, and the 7th one was on the way, and he dropped one of the other ones. And then you're out, even though you didn't drop it. You dropped it while the play wasn't going on. And yet the ball is still coming, and so he drops all of the other balls, and then he just sort of grabs this ball right before it's like going to hit the ground, so nonchalantly just snatches it. And I thought, even though it didn't really matter because it was just a goofy little display, that shows how good his hands are. And, I find myself wondering if he had, hell, he could have called me. I would have been able to tell him this. If he'd have just had someone in his circle to have told him last year after 4 games before the Rams game, hey, man, I know I'm not sure I understand why you're frustrated, but I know you are, but you got to push through this. You got to go to work today. I really do wonder, because I just have a hard time, and I'm not here to speak for LaFleur, but my gut tells me that, he's kind of operating under the fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, you shouldn't fool people, or whatever it was George W. Bush said once upon a time. That they're, he's kind of had they're not going to give him a mulligan for that. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he ends up, playing really well this year, and they say, you know what, that was an isolated incident. We want this guy on our football team. But I still feel like the way, and according to some of the people I've talked to in the building, like that was that just doesn't happen in this league. And I don't think anything should be unforgivable that football players do in terms of making bad decisions like that. Like there are certainly, really bad things that players do off the field that are irredeemable. Yeah. But from a football perspective, not coming to work, I'm not sure that should be disqualifying, but I don't know. I'm really curious to see what his season would have to look like for it to lead to him getting re-signed by these guys or getting an extension.
Dobbs rhymes with Hobbs. Is he really hurt? Did the surgery really happen, or are we just trying to put him so we're putting him on the sidelines so nobody gets hurt?
No, he definitely had the surgery. My issue is, and I totally get this, right? I mean, I'd gotten wind of this earlier in the weekend, and Bill Huber did a great job of getting a hold of what I presume was his agent to get confirmation. But the agent, or theoretically the source that he talked to, said, "Oh, he'll be back for the opener." Okay, that's great. I mean, that's obviously the goal, but I'm not willing to. I would say, hopefully he'll be back for the opener, or could be back for the opener. I would definitely not say he will be back for the opener, because it's 33 days from today that they open the season, and when you have your knee scoped, yes, it's not nearly as invasive as other things they could do, but you still had surgery. And to turn it around and be able to be, Doc McKenzie is very cautious by nature. You would hate for him to come back too early and have it, become a greater issue. So, look, he had an issue with his meniscus. They trimmed it. He's now going to be sidelined for the next 3 weeks, and then the hope would be that he would practice and be ready for the Lions. But this is what we were talking about all offseason, before and after they released Jair Alexander. And Goody stood there behind the Hudson Center after they released Alexander that day during the minicamp, and he said, "I feel really good about our top 3 guys, Nixon, Hobbs, and Valentine." Okay, well, now you're down to 2. Now, maybe it's only short term, but that's the reason why you need better depth. There's a reason why they always say that you can never have too many corners. Well, I don't think they have enough. They had to bring back Corey Ballantyne. They had to move Bo Melton to corner. They got 3 former 7th-round corners, one of whom has proven that he is a legit NFL player in Carrington Valentine. One who, in Kalen King, we have no idea. He didn't play a single snap last year. And now they've drafted Micah Robinson. So, to me, that is a position that was a need. They turned it over, but didn't add that many people, which is kind of weird, right? They didn't. Not only did they move on from Alexander, but they moved on from Eric Stokes. They moved on from Robert Rochelle the musical, and they moved on from Ballantyne. He just happened to become available again right when they found out that that Hobbs was going to be sidelined. So that feels to me like the danger zone of their roster, right? With the wide receivers they have in Detroit. And unfortunately for the Packers, they don't have Minnesota early, so Jordan Addison will get his 3-game suspension out of the way, and he will not have played the Packers yet. I think they've got the Bears, the Falcons, and the Bengals for his 3-game suspension.
Jason, I hate to interrupt, but what is the norm for a meniscus tear, a surgery, in terms of amount of time needing to come back? Because this has to happen all the time.
Yeah, it depends. And it's funny because obviously I saw Doc McKenzie today because of my foot, and he did Maddie's meniscus tear that she ran her entire cross-country season with, because she's chip off her mother's block and is way tougher than me.
But like it was like 6 to 8 weeks before she was cleared to start doing the stuff she really wanted to be be but she had a full, like, it was
because I'm guessing NFL players have come back from meniscus tear surgery.
It all depends on. All right, so there's a couple of things, and this is why I brought up Doc McKenzie, because what they did in Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy was they repaired it, and that knocked him out for the season. And then, if you remember, late in the year, they ended up having to do another surgery. Now, I don't know. I don't want to violate HIPAA, and I don't know J.J. McCarthy's medical history, but traditionally what has happened with meniscus repairs is that they re-tear. And then they end up having to do the discectomy or whatever they call the trimming is. And so, like in Maddie's case last year, you know, she's a really, really good gymnast. She finished second in the country. She would not have been able to even do her gymnastics season had she repaired it. Right. And then, as it turned out,
with this information, they got to get somebody else. This is not just is he going to play back, but it's likely going to be a problem.
You can't help yourself, can you? God, I love you.
No, I can't.
In Hobbs's case, it is a small tear. They trim it, and he recovers in 3 weeks. Seems aggressive to me, but 4 or 5 weeks, it really does. It's the repairs that take forever to heal. So, like, I don't know what they did with Jermichael Finley years and years ago. That was like 2009 when he missed the rest of the year, but he had a major tear. So what they try to do, though, is to basically trim out the dead part, and then it's a scope, so it's not invasive. So I would say most meniscus guys are probably out 6 weeks. Okay. And allegedly this one is a smaller tear. It was a very small amount that had to be trimmed away, and so he should be back sooner than that. But I don't buy 3 weeks. That's just my opinion.
They want him back for the Lions. And he's going to want to be back for the Lions, right? Nate Hobbs, we know how tough he is. 7.5. Is Hobbs going to want to play for? He's going to say, "I'm playing against the Lions." Will Doc McKenzie let him play?
Well, he'll want to be back, but I tell you, the meniscus that's one of those things that even the little ones, there are more complications out of that. I feel like the meniscus, when they even say it's just a slight tear and it's just a little, like that always still becomes a big problem. That's like, I'd rather have my entire shoulder redone than the meniscus. And oh, by the way, when you're 42, when that'll start telling you when the weather report, because that means you're on the way to arthritis and that knee too. But the meniscus is always repair or even trimming or whatever they do, because cartilage doesn't grow back and all that other stuff. I don't feel like there's any really minor meniscus procedure.
It's like minor brain surgery.
So then now I'm thinking he should be out 6 weeks. Everybody should realize in the best interest of the Packers, he should be out 6 weeks. Dr. Anderson, Dr. Wilde, as listening to what the two of you said, don't be stupid. He's gone 6 weeks. You want him for the season. Am I trying too hard again, Dr. Wilde?
Again, I haven't looked at the scans, Dr. Homer. So I don't know.
Gonna have to see the film. Got to see the film to see what's going on.
All right. Thanks, Jason. Sorry to interrupt. I should have stayed on the cot.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right. Well, it wasn't just what Dr. Wilde said. It's what you said.
Yeah, guys, I don't think there's any. The meniscus is a tricky deal.
Right. So if it's a tricky deal, I'm talking to Nate at night. You're out 6 weeks.
I would tell you right now, I don't think he's back for week 1.
Okay.
This is what they say
it would be a mistake. Right? If he is, it'd be a mistake. It'd be a risk.
I don't know.
Based on what you just said. All right.
Yes, but not everybody's different. Or everybody's different. It's like you would have never thought that Adrian Peterson should have come back from an ACL and he did that. So it's not like there are.
Right, but that would be rare.
But most
There's a norm.
People,
and
the
this
norm
would be rare.
Not back. Yeah, that would be the norm.
Yeah. Who knew? Did you ever think about being a doctor?
No.
Oh, all right.
No,
right,
but I've seen a lot of people hurt.
Jason Wilde. Yeah, he's right. I just so you have a repair and you have a small tear. But what I learned from the discussion is As I learned about from Tony Smith, the calf injury. Don't be thinking this is you don't want this. And I think the meniscus tends to be. I think my daughter actually had it, though I know far less than the two of you. There was always, I thought, the knee injury you wanted better than the ACL or what's the other one?
PCL and MCL.
Yeah,
the
you
MCL
have a chance to come back. She came back after I don't know how long. And now I realize, well, maybe you'd like it, but it's got issues. Don't think it's nothing, right? I mean, isn't that what you would choose? If you were going to hurt your knee, you'd want the meniscus to be the injury rather than the other two.
Yes. The thing with the meniscus is once it starts, because you've torn a little of it, so it's already weakened, and even if you trimmed it off, now there's not as much there as it used to be. And like I said, it doesn't grow back. There's nothing, so now it's gone. It doesn't regenerate.
Got it.
Whereas at least you repair the...
So you're probably going to have another meniscus.
At some point, he will have trouble with the knee again in his life.
Because if you had the full thing and you repaired it, then you've decreased the possibility of another problem with it, right?
Yeah, but like Jason said, even then the repair is not great because it's not a big it's a thin and it's flimsy and it's hard to sew together and keep repaired.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening and trying as hard as I am, just understand Nate Hobbs playing against Detroit, anything's possible, but don't count on it.
I think that's a no.
Yes. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
That traffic going home is bumper to bumper. If you're on I-41 northbound, be aware that backups begin from Watertown Plank Road all the way up towards Silver Spring Drive. If you're on I-94 westbound, be aware that backups begin past 16th Street through the Stadium interchange, and then they clear up once you pass Mitchell Boulevard. I can't say the same before heading on 94 eastbound. Backups begin starting at the Zoo interchange. They go through the State Fair Park, through the Stadium interchange, and then they clear off once you pass South Layton Boulevard. Tonight's going to be mainly clear, lingering smoke with a low of 66 degrees. Tomorrow on Wednesday will be mostly sunny, warm, and humid with some smoke and haze still in the air with a high of 82 degrees. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Sean Brinda on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Faith and Bigora, lads and lassies. Irish Fest is almost here. One of the great Milwaukee summer festivals. And we'd like to send you there. Compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Purchase any 1 18-pack of Miller Lite, Draft, or 64, or Coors Light, and receive 1 free ticket to Irish Fest. But don't delay. Tickets go quickly, and I know you don't want to miss all the great Irish food and beverages. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Discount Liquor, voted best liquor store in Milwaukee again. See us this week for your free Irish Fest ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Wow, a bomb by Yelich. Join the crew for an electric matchup when the Brewers host the Mets August 8th through the 10th. The weekend starts with a celebration at Cerveceros Night on Friday the 8th, featuring makers markets, music, and more. Then don't miss an all-new Christian Yelich bobblehead giveaway on Saturday the 9th, courtesy of American Family Insurance. Close out the series with Sunday Matinee Baseball and a limited edition Jacob Mizorowski t-shirt giveaway. Grab your tickets at Brewers.com.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, "Wherever you go, my heart goes with you."
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, Wisconsin sports fans, it's almost that time of the year again. On August the 20th, we will have the fantasy football draft back at ESPN Wisconsin. Takes over the Potawatomi Sportsbook for another exclusive event. Call to join my fantasy league. I finished second last year in the league. And as far as the event, free food, free, great prizes, the full VIP experience, all for fans 21 and up. Again, Potawatomi Sportsbook, August the 20th. If you can't make it, don't call, because you serve no purpose if you don't want to be in the league, and you can't be in the league and you're there on the 20th. Thank you. Caller number 10 and 11, both of you, caller 10 and 11, will win a spot in the Homer Fantasy Football League. I thought of calling it 7-2.5, but they voted it down. 1-800-990-3776. Caller 10, caller 11. Again, you got to be able to be there August the 20th and pick the John Anderson Homer Hour. All right, we're putting up this. Have you put it up yet, Pedal? You got like a million things to do. I don't know if you put the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question up. I got to check. The question is, and this is the most important vote there will be. You ready?
Let's have it.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver, will lead the Packers in catches, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, or none of the above. Yards, receiving touchdowns, receptions, or none of the above. Good question.
His best chance is at yards.
Okay. Now, you're not going to win receptions. I agree with you there. But
no,
yards.
I think that'll be a tight end. I think that'll be Kraft.
Yeah, and Kraft might also be receiving touchdowns.
Yeah,
who's going to be good in his own. Receiving yards, Matthew Golden. That would be your vote. That's a good vote. I might steal that. So that's how we have it. We have you pick one of the one of those three, or none of the above. The safest bet is none of the above. But
you can't be a cop out. We got to give the guy. We got to try something. You know.
No,
I'm not there.
I'll be a cop out. I'll totally be a cop out. But he's impressed everybody enough that it's worthy to think he could lead in something. And the best one, I think, is yards. He could have fewer catches, but I would say this. If I added a fourth one, yards per catch. He will lead in yards per catch.
Yeah.
We're going to – that's too easy, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll probably, 16, 17 yards?
Yeah.
Old school. Give me a Bob Hayes 22, but I don't know that he's there. But, yeah, I think he will be.
Or Bill Schrader for the Packers. He had a pretty good number there. The most underappreciated wide receiver in the history of the Packers. Everybody hated him. He seemed to like that. Motivated him, I guess.
Son was a great track at. Well, he was a great track.
He was great at everything.
Too.
He's done long driving distances too. Now he's into that. He did that for a while.
Yeah,
competitive. His son's
by the way, as wide
good.
receivers go, what do you think of Sterling's performance going into the Hall?
Just so long overdue,
right?
But Sterling was rude to everybody there. I mean, he didn't talk to anybody. He got mad at somebody. You weren't important enough. He just talked to the national people. I mean, in terms of being a jerk. Sterling Sharp's right up there at the top all time for me in terms of covering the Packers. I don't care. Mm-hmm. He was dominant. He was so good. And to think that what always amazed me, when Brett Favre was a quarterback, everybody knew he was throwing to Sterling Sharp. I always wondered why they didn't have 5 guys around Sterling Sharp, because I believe with 5 guys around, Brett Favre still would have thrown the ball to him. And his career ended because of injury, and he was as dominant as anybody for a certain period of that. And I thought almost like he wasn't, remember, like Gale Sayers, but I thought it was absurd that he wasn't in. I would have voted for him the first time I could.
Yeah, he played 7 years.
He was.
7 good years, right? It wasn't like it was 4 and out. And by the way, he had some marvelous seasons before Favre showed up, and the quarterbacks were not great.
Right.
When he did.
So, and your thought on Sterling Sharp?
He had, and so, he worked at our place for a while too. And he was always, good enough to that staff. I've seen some of the things that you talk about, right? When he was in that locker room, he was for sure. But the funniest thing he ever said to me one time is that, they had the laminated play sheet that they had. And, Holmgren had all the plays in the front, but he had about 5 on the back that were just Sterling plays. And he used to always say, like, guys, we want to use all these. Don't make me turn over and just do these, right? Like, let's try to have some variety in our offense. Don't make me flip the chart over and let's go, okay, we're just going to throw to 84. Those are the plays where you were going to use.
Explain that to me. Like, he knew he wouldn't have to do that, or did he, he was just being funny, or?
No, I think Holmgren wanted to generally have, or Holmgren generally wanted to have a balanced offense.
Okay.
Like he couldn't, like, I don't want to have to throw it to Sterling.
But he knew he wasn't going to, because nobody he had was anywhere near as good as Sterling Sharp, right?
So he would go through it, and he'd try his best to do all that in the formative years. But he's like, don't make me turn the play sheet over, because then I'm just going to call all these plays that go to 84. But, if we get in a spot and that's what I have to do, I will do it. But I'd prefer to do it the other way. And we look like a football team that has 11 guys participating and not just one.
The fourth quarter with John Anderson, the professor, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson, and as the daughter of a school teacher, I know just how important education is. No matter how old you are or your situation, continuing to learn will enrich your life and help remove barriers you didn't even know were there. So much opportunity, y'all. Whether it's a foreign language, history, or a different way to look at things, take some time each day to learn something new. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Got an unused car, truck, or SUV just sitting in your garage? Now's the time to act. Your vehicle donation to Rawhide Youth Services provides essential mental health care for youths facing trauma and behavioral challenges. Your help is needed right away. Your vehicle could be the key to a young person's fresh start. Don't wait. Donate today at rawhide.org or call 1-800-RAWHIDE. Empty your garage. Fill a young life with hope.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Joe Flacco is the pace car for all of the young quarterbacks in the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. If you do put Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders out there week one, the player, the front office, the coaching staff, they lose all benefit of the doubt because you don't have any proof of concept when it comes to those young quarterbacks being able to play at this level. So Joe Flacco is the name they know. It's a guy that came off the couch, took him to the playoffs a couple of years ago. There's an affinity for him with the fan base because of them catching that proverbial lightning in a bottle. So I think that it would be Joe Flacco, barring any type of injury, just out of an abundance of caution in terms of being able to control the perception around what's happening with the Cleveland Browns quarterback playing.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tune in to Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker. An H&R benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Go behind the scenes of Giannis' Emmy-nominated documentary. Hear about the true origins of Bucks in 6 and more. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. It's a perfect intro to Ask John Anderson. I need your help. The ESPN guy, Shams Charania, did I say his name right? I want to make sure I do. Is that?
Shams, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he's saying that Giannis still hasn't decided. And Giannis is saying, I'm coming back to Milwaukee. Here's what I believe is going on. The agents for Giannis are telling Shams, look, we haven't decided yet. He hasn't decided yet because they want the Bucks to continue to think they need to do more and more and more and more until Giannis makes his decision. Giannis has said, fine, say whatever you want, but I'm coming back to Milwaukee, and I may make comments what I want, whether people think I'm coming to Milwaukee. Because the same day Shams says he hasn't decided, Giannis says, yep, Milwaukee, and gives him a wink. Is my analysis of what's going on have any credibility whatsoever? If you agree, it will. If you won't, then I got to go to plan B.
No, I think he wants to. I think, the agents, they've got to keep leverage as long as they can, right? They've got to keep the leverage for their client. They want to keep the Bucks pushing in the right direction. So, I think there's some smoke screen there coming from the other side. Because I don't think there's anything about the kid that we've watched in his time here that says smoke screen. I think,
and they haven't convinced Giannis to run the same smoke screen. He's not doing it.
No. So he'll let them do it, and he'll, try to, I think, say as little as possible. But I don't think he's in a position where he's going to lie or mislead anybody.
Because it just seems odd.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Anything else I'm right about, or what do you want to close with? What does John? This is a new segment.
Get enough of these things, you can bring down a bear. Let it be said, I didn't say that time. That was on tape in case you can't tell the difference between them.
It's true.
I don't know. Hey, I think I'll do this show next week from Green Bay. I'm going to drive up. My son and I are going to drive over to come see the game on Saturday night.
Will you give people a chance to know where you are so they can chase you down?
I'm in my seats where I'm always at. Whatever we are, section 111 or whatever.
All right.
Row 11, section 104. I don't know. We're down there in the end.
All right. Enjoy. On the tee next.
Get enough bee stings, you can bring down a bear.
Yeah.
Afternoon traffic is starting to ease up a bit, but we